Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying your morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever time you happen to be listening to the Healthy Tech Talk show. Tonight, I want to give you a little bit of a breakdown of the individual parts that I've used to form and complete the eFlexonics program, or our seminar program. So let's start out by doing this. I'm going to explain a couple of books that I have based the seminar program on, and it's very important that I sit down and say, okay, this is what part of the seminar program is about, and this is what part of the seminar program is about, and to bring them together in a very logical and scientific way. So here we go. I've based the program on several extremely good and efficient and effective books, and I'll share them with you. One of the first books that I based the program on, and they're in no particular order, by the way, is called The Body Electric, Electromagnetism and the Foundation of Life by Robert O. Becker, MD, and Gary Selden. And I'll hold this up to the camera. Can you see that? Get a little closer for you. This book is extremely good. It tells you how electricity and electronics, the electronics of the human body work, and how they're affected in our modern day lives. Now, what I'm going to do is this. It's really important that we have certain sections that explain the seminar program as clearly as we possibly can. And we'll put them together in sections and subsections, and then we'll hold little classes. And when I used to teach reflexology, we used to chop it up into different sections. You know, we would do 1 hour here and 1 hour here, and then we'd go back, and at the end of the day, it would all make sense and compile together, and then you'd get a really good understanding of what the program was all about. But this is one of the main books. Now, here's what I've done. A couple of months ago, I went out and got an electronic snap circuit kit. And so what I'm going to do is, in the coming weeks and months, I'm going to use this it says build over 300 exciting projects. I'm going to build some electronic circuits on this particular board, and then I'm going to explain how the voltage and the current goes through these circuits and how they affect each other. And then we're going to tie it into this book, because electricity in the human body behaves very similarly to an electronic project, to an electronic board, a motherboard, or a circuit. That's why when you go, have you ever been to a chiropractor? And have they ever muscle tested you? It's when you hold out your arm and they press on your arm. And that's called muscle testing, and they're testing a circuit. They're testing the muscles and the joining muscles to see if there's an imbalance in the muscle and skeletal system. So that's one part of the program that we're going to take a small section and explain and break it down so you can easily follow it. Another thing that I base the program on is Tai Chi and Qigong. I do Yang-style Tai Chi, and I also practice Shibashi Qigong and medical Qigong. And I'll hold the book up. I don't know if you can get a clear picture of that, but Yang-style Tai Chi is very, very important to this course, because for 3 times a day, it reminds you how to completely and totally relax my breath, my body, my heart rate, my blood pressure, my mind, my emotions. And it is one of the key cornerstones of this seminar program. So we combine this body electric, because the body has electricity in it. Okay, let me explain it this way. Let's go back 200 or 300 years in time. The ancient masters, when they taught Tai Chi and Qigong, and it's a form of Kung Fu, they knew about the electrical and electronic points of the human body back then, but they didn't know exactly how to explain it. So can you imagine watching an ancient master 200 or 300 years ago trying to explain? So what they would do is they would put it in a form or a dance and call it Tai Chi. And there's many different martial arts that do that. There's karate, there's Tai Chi, there's Kung Fu, there's Sing, there's Bruce Lee's martial art, Jeet Kune Do. And all of them have one thing in common. On the Japanese side, it's called Ki. On the Chinese side, it's called Qi. It is the internal life force that is in you. This has a direct connection to electricity within the human body. So we're going to tie these two books together. Now, the third book is called Acupressure's Potent Points, A Guide to Self-Care to Common Ailments. And this is by Michael Reed Gosh. Now, all reflexology is acupressure points. That's all it is, no less and no more. So this is another one of the books that I wanted to ground in scientific roots and show you, look, this isn't a flighty kind of stuff. This is real. It's acupressure. If you've ever had acupressure or acupuncture done, that is a form of reflexology. Then we tie it all together, and I do a section on juicing for the computer user, because you have to have highly nutritious food go into your body so your liver doesn't have to be burdened by breaking it down. And juicing is an extremely effective way to do that. So you see how we're combining systems and subsystems, and that's where the holistic part comes in. Holistic means complete or entire. We're taking entire subsystems, putting them together, joining them together, and forming one program. Another book that really caught my attention is called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty by Dr. Batmanjeldi. I know I butchered his name up, but he's a medical doctor, and he did a lot of reports saying that water, plain water, can cause a lot of, can cure you of a lot of diseases. Now, remember, he's got scientific medical proof, and he doesn't go off on the deep end. He backs it up with a lot of scientific data. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 books represent a portion of what we teach in the eFlexonics seminar. You know, this is so fascinating because, to me, when I can sit down with a whiteboard and I'll show you, I will actually show you through videos how the electronics and the electricity work here, and then and once you get a grasp of that, what voltage does, what current does, then we transfer it over to the human body and tell you how it works within the human body as well. Then, when we can understand that, I teach you how to do reflexology on the hands, and you'll be able to reach those potent points, understand what's happening within the electricity of the human body, and be able to use that system for your advantage. It's a wonderful program, and I'm really excited about getting started. So this was a little bit of an explanation of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, but I am so excited I can hardly wait to get started. So thank you for sharing your time with us. But the next time you hear us, we will be taking one of these books, and I think what I'll do is I'll start with the first book, The Body Electric, and I'll start with the electronic snap circuits, and we'll put together a little basic electricity. We'll cover Ohm's law, and we'll cover the first simplest circuit in here, and then we'll transfer that into the way the body handles electricity and uses electricity. Okay? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Rick Holland for Healthy Tech Talk. We'll see you again.